week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, the final fighter roster for Universe 7 is here. Gohan fans, prepare to be disappointed. For a second there, I thought the anime version of Dragon Ball Super was going to start to make a big change from its manga counterparts. No, Gohan will not be a part of Universe 7's fighting team. This episode almost made it seem like that was going to be a possibility after both Gohan and Piccolo had this intense and awesome training sequence, which is arguably the best part of this week's episode, which really wasn't all that exciting, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that this was a glorified recap episode of Dragon Ball Super. We got to see most of the events through flashbacks, and we got a lot of training sequences that we've already seen before. Even when they went to the scene with Beerus and Whis, it was just more flashbacks. Basically, this whole episode is about deciding who the fighters are going to be, and it's going to be Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, which is a freaking awesome choice, Majin Buu, and of course the mysterious Monaka, who might make an appearance in the next episode. It's kinda hard to tell. That being said, that's pretty much all that happened this week. They decided on the fighters, and everybody's getting ready to do their final training, with Goku and Vegeta going into the hyperbolic time chamber, Piccolo doing his whole meditation thing, Majin Buu eating lots of shit and doing practically nothing, and Monaka doing God knows what. Really, that's about it. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super? I really wish a lot more could have happened in this one, and I felt that all of the recap was absolutely unnecessary. This is basically, in many ways, like, kind of a filler episode, even though it technically doesn't qualify as a filler per se, but there still were some cool moments. I loved the training sequence between Gohan and Piccolo, as short-lived as it was, with them colliding into each other, and then Piccolo actually using his stretching abilities, which he doesn't actually use all that often, and the scene where they actually, like, fight each other inside of this massive, like, mountain, and it's crumbling on top of them as they're fighting, just was a really cool setting. The scene is also important because it shows that Gohan can still fight. He still has the ability to do that. He just doesn't have the time, and he has family shit to take care of, which is really disappointing because he could just go to the hyperbolic time chamber, and that scene annoys me because as soon as that scene is done, that's the first thing that Goku suggests. Let's go to the hyperbolic time chamber. We'll get like 3 years worth of training in. It'll be no big deal. This would be the perfect opportunity for Gohan to do that, but no, we're gonna go with Majin Buu. Piccolo, on the other hand, I think is an amazing choice. Piccolo is one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters of all time. He's such a uniquely designed character with really cool powers, and Dragon Ball Super is the perfect opportunity to showcase what this guy can do. I really hope that Piccolo's battle in this tournament is going to be exciting. I cannot wait to see him in action. Hopefully he'll have some brand new techniques. He's just such an awesome character. I love me some Piccolo. Another detail that I really liked about this episode is that Goku actually brought up Oob. Of course he doesn't know his name yet, but he mentions that a reincarnated Kid Buu is finally alive again, although he's just a baby at this point. And he wishes, of course, he could put him on the team considering how powerful he is, but it's really cool that they actually decided to mention that. Of course, he got this information from the big man upstairs, King Yama himself. So at the end of the day, the biggest thing about this episode is that we know who the fighters are: Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Majin Buu, and Monaka. Next, all we have to see are who these 6 universe fighters are going to be, and I really hope that the anime is going to tease them all just a little bit, as opposed to just straight introducing them into the tournament. But even if they decide to do that, I just want to see it. I'm excited for this arc of Dragon Ball Super, and I can't wait to see next week's episode. It looks like it's going to be a little more entertaining, and it looks like we're going to a story that actually does take place in the manga version, so I can't wait to see how they're going to handle that. Of course, we're also going to get the return of Jacko the Galactic Patrolman, so let's get excited for that. That being said, this week's episode was okay in my opinion. I think there were way too many flashbacks, but the stuff that was here was exciting, and we finally got our final roster for the fighting team. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 3 out of 5. Just a fun, average episode of Dragon Ball Super that, while is flooded with flashbacks, will get you excited for the upcoming episodes of the series. So 3 out of 5 from me. Pretty good episode. But if you watch this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below. Are you satisfied with the fighting roster? Are you a little disappointed over Gohan not being a part of the team? Do you think there's a possibility that in the future of Dragon Ball Super we'll see more from Gohan? Maybe an arc that focuses on him and his brand new training? And what do you want to see from the rest of this big tournament arc in Dragon Ball Super? Make sure to tell me in the comment section below. You guys are awesome! Thank you for watching this review, and make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching. And as always, stay dandy, baby!